Okay, lesson 3, understanding addition of integers. Today we're looking at how to see where the sum lands compared to the first number that we started with and how addition affects that. So let's see how you did on your do now. Counting up. For this one we're going 2 plus 4 equals 6, so we went over 2 and then over 4 and we landed at 6. For this one, we're going plus 2 plus negative 4. So we go over 2 and then back negative 4. We land at negative 2, and that's how we got each of these answers. So then they ask you some questions about this. Counting up, negative 4 is the same as the opposite of counting up 4 and also means counting down 4. So I either count up negative 4 or down 4. Those are the same thing, and they're the opposite of counting up 4. So you see, up 4 is the opposite of down 4. Up negative 4 is the opposite of up 4. Okay, it also means counting down 4. So for each example above, the distance between 2 and the sum, every single time, the sum is here, and here's 2. We're 4 units away. Here's 2, here's the sum, we're 4 units away. The only difference is that on this side, the sum, here's the sum, is 4 units above 2. And on this one, the sum, negative 2, is 4 units below 2. Part B asks us, does the sum lie to the right or left of 2 on a horizontal number line? So that's kind of what we just answered. Since this is horizontal, we would say 6 is to the right of 2 and negative 2 is to the left of 2. So I'm going to draw a line to say that on this one, it's to the right. On this one, it's to the left. And then it asks us above or below on a vertical number line. We're going to start working with vertical number lines today. Vertical means up and down. So if I were to draw a vertical number line and start at 0, I know that when I did 2 plus 4 equals 6, I go up to 2. Then I go again up to 6 because 2 plus 4 equals 6, and I land there. So on the on the vertical number line, this is horizontal, this is vertical. It's going to be above when you're adding 2 plus 4. And if I'm adding 2 plus negative 4, I'm going to go 2 again, but then I'm going to go negative 4. All the way to negative 2. Sorry. All right. And I land at negative 2 and I circle my answer. All right. So this is below on a vertical number line. It's kind of the same thing as what we did when it was horizontal, 2 and 4, or 2 and negative 4. Except that we're just looking at it up and down. All right, part C says, given the expression 54 plus 81, determine without finding the sum, the distance between 54 and the sum, and explain. So we're trying to find the distance between 54 and the sum, and we need to explain. I know that when I put this on a number line, I'm going to always start at 0, and I'm doing 54 plus 81. So I'll go to 54, and then I'll go 81 more, and I'll get to the sum. Without even finding what that is, I know that the distance between 54 and the sum is 81 units. That's what we're going to be focusing on today, is noticing that if I'm doing 54 plus something to get to the sum, That something is the distance between 54 and the sum. And just like up here, 2 plus 4 gave us 6, which is 4 units above 2. See, 6 is 4 units above 2. 54 plus 81 will give us a number that is 81 units above 54. Get that written down and flip the page. Part D asks us, is the sum to the right or left of 54 on a horizontal number line, above or below on a vertical number line? So I'm going to draw a horizontal number line just like we did earlier on the last page. 0, we go 54, which lands us at 54. Then we go 81, which lands us at the sum. So the sum would be to the right of 54. This is the right. Make sure you know your right and left. This makes it L, so that's left. This is right. So the sum is to the right of 54. And if I make a vertical number line, starting at 0, I would go up 54 and up 81, landing at the sum. So the sum is going to be above 54. Part E gives us a new expression and does the same thing. It asks us to determine, without finding the sum, the distance between 14 and the sum. So I'm starting at 14, and then I'm going to go -3. I can draw this. 0, I go 14, and then I'm going to go -3 and land at the sum. The absolute value of a number tells us how long the arrow is going to be. That's what we learned yesterday. So I know that the arrow of -3 is 3 units long. So the distance between 14 and the sum is going to be 3 units. And is the sum to the right or the left? Let's look. The sum is to the left of 14. I know that if it's to the left on a horizontal number line, it's going to be below on a vertical line. We're going to start writing this in a complete sentence for your homework. So I'm going to write, sum will be 3 units below or to the left of 14. We say 3 units below because the absolute value of -3 is 3. So that's how many units it's going to be. And we say below or to the left because it's negative. So every time you're creating a sentence, you will say the sum will be this many units above, below, to the right, to the left of the number that we started with, the first number. That's what you're going to do on exercise 2 on your own.